Okay, American Idol season 16 is a thing of the past. Maddie Poppe is the winner, but the real winner is Denton Davidson here. He at Gold Derby, he made predictions all season long, along with hundreds of other people. He got first place in our contest. So Denton, let's just start with the big one. You got Maddie Poppe correct that she would win. How did you know? Because a lot of people were picking Gabby Barrett.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gabby was the front runner for most of the season, but there was something about that last week of performances where I could just feel a shift happening. I felt like Gabby was losing momentum, and I felt like Maddie was really gaining momentum. If you look at the iTunes charts, she was leading the pack amongst those three. They actually finished one, two, three just as their iTunes songs charted. And also, she was up against two country artists. So you have Maddie, who's this kind of folksy pop singer, and you have two country artists who are potentially splitting votes within their fan base. So I think it was just a little bit of a perfect storm for her, and people really appreciate her being kind of the artsy one. And she got Katie's endorsement right at the end of that last episode, saying, "You're getting my vote." That might have sealed the deal.
That you stole my theory, by the way. My theory was that since there were two country artists in the final three, you know, if you're a country fan, which one do you vote for? I think they totally split their own vote. That's part of the reason Maddie won. She was also, for my money, she was the best of those three. You know, voice, talent, everything. She had it all, which is why I thought she would lose, because my favorite artists never win American Idol. I'm always angry at the finale because, oh, that person shouldn't have won. It should have been this person. But finally, Maddie was my personal choice to win, and she won. I was very happy. Like, who do you want personally if you were a voter? Well, technically you're a voter, but who would you have voted for if you voted?
In the finale, I would have voted for Maddie. It's the album I would buy if I was given the choice of those three. So, and I think a lot of people felt the same way, and I think that's why she won. Even the Gold Derby odds started shifting. It wasn't as Gabby didn't have the huge lead she had maybe a month ago. I mean, there were quite a few people that were expecting Maddie to win, and
yeah, even in the past week, I would say, like, Gabby at the Gold Derby odds, Gabby was far out ahead, and then Maddie kept climbing higher and higher. And they finished 1 and 2. Caleb was a distant third, but she was closing in the gap. She just didn't quite do it. So Gold Derby, our official predictions from all of our readers, we thought Gabby would win. So we didn't get that correct. But let's talk about the final two, which was actually Caleb. We haven't really mentioned Caleb yet. Usually the guy with the guitar wins American Idol, right? I mean, you can go through the whole list of the past 10 years and see, okay, guy with guitar. So I wonder why Caleb didn't win. Was it the split country vote?
I think it was the split country vote. I think it was, I mean, it sometimes depends on the competition that you're in the moment. So, I mean, Maddie is so likable. And I would also say Maddie isn't so far outside of the country lane. Like, I even question how much she benefited from that, because it's like if Sheryl Crow were up against Miranda Lambert. I mean, Maddie could sing a country song perfectly well if she wanted to. It wasn't like she was an R&B big belting vocalist or anything like that. So Caleb, I almost picked Caleb to win. I almost put him in a prediction because it usually is the man that wins. Maddie was the 6th. Is that right?
So she's now the 6th woman, and there was 10 men.
So yeah, I mean, it was probably close. It'd be interesting to know the results. Usually, if it's really close, though, they'll say it's really close. So
yeah,
maybe not.
Ryan also didn't mention that. I remember he didn't mention how many million voted, which makes me think that maybe it wasn't a high number.
Yeah, it's possible.
What did you think of the finale overall? The 2-hour. It was really a concert. I mean, they had one elimination halfway through where we said goodbye to Gabby, and then they had the announcement at the end. And other than that, it was just you know, it was kind of like I was actually there. It was really fun to see the top 10 perform with these really famous singers. Is there one performance that just stood out to you?
Yeah, it was fun. I think it was a fun way to go out. I mean, oddly enough, my favorite performance was probably Maddie with Kermit the Frog. So that might have been my favorite. I love that Patti LaBelle was there, singing with Ada Vox. I mean, just that it was just kind of a perfect combination of singers going toe to toe on that song, and so that was another one that stood out for me. And I was just happy. Michael Woodard was my favorite contestant of the season. I just thought he was so much fun to watch. So it was fun to see him back.
Ada Vox was great. The performance that she gave. Michael Woodard's performance was great. I will say the Katy Perry, Katie Turner one, it looked like it was live, but it wasn't live. So everyone in the studio, we kind of just had to turn our heads to the TV and watch it. But if that had been live, I bet that would have been my favorite performance. But
I was surprised at their performance because it was not what I thought it was going to be. When they say Katy and Katy would perform, I would have expected something maybe humorous or
something silly, yeah,
over the top, and they turned it into something really serious, and it was good. It was just not what I was expecting. Yeah,
I loved them together. It was funny because Luke got to perform with one of the top 3, and then Katy performed with Katy. But Lionel kind of did his own thing, and then the top 10 kind of came out toward the end.
Yeah. The time capsule thing was a little weird when Sanjay came out and said he ate clay again. That was interesting. But yeah, I mean, they had some good moments. I also noticed they kept saying season 2 was coming.
I hate that.
As if they almost abandoned the first 15 seasons all of a sudden.
Yeah, at Gold Derby, we're going to call it season 17, just so everyone knows it's not season 2. Season 2 was in 2003 or something. This is season 17.
Right.
I loved the Jimmy Kimmel jokes about, you know, past seasons, because they really have shied away from mentioning seasons 1 through 15. It's almost like they are trying to reinvent it, but you have so much history. That's why I love the Carrie Underwood week when she came on, because it was like, oh, she was one of the biggest winners, if not the biggest winner of all time. It was good for them to kind of remember their roots. Usually it's the opposite. Usually when somebody wins, they try to distance themselves from Idol, but now it feels like Idol is distancing itself from its own past, which I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, they should be celebrating the fact that they kind of started this trend. And to this day, they have bigger stars than any of these other reality shows I've produced. So even the 5th and 6th most successful American Idols are more popular than some of these other winners. So Jimmy Kimmel had a lot of the former cast-offs on his show on his late night show later too, and that was pretty funny. William Hung was singing with
Sanjaya.
Sanjaya was there, and then they had Taylor and Ruben like in a corner, kind of acting embarrassed to be in the room with all these losers that didn't win. It was pretty funny.
What did you think of the alpaca moment? That was good, but it just went on way too long.
Yeah, I could have done without the alpaca moment. I thought what was more funny, could you see the video montages that they were doing? Yes. I thought the video of Noah Davis and Ada, and then the heartthrob guy singing to the tune of Lionel Richie, I thought that was a little funnier than the alpaca.
Katy Perry's kind of she stole the show, didn't she? Her reactions are just so over the top. I just love it. Like the moment where actually there's two. First, the Bachelorette moment where she just kind of freaks out and kisses her, and then Luke pulls her away. That was great. But I think my favorite was the spinning around in the chair when Maddie and Caleb announced that they were in a relationship, which I had no idea. I was totally caught off guard. I thought they were faking it at first until they started holding hands, and I'm like, oh, they're really dating this whole time? I didn't know.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird too. I was not expecting that. And I guess I don't know their ages. So for some reason I thought he was like...
He's 20 and he's like 17 or 18, I think.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure about that, but yeah, I didn't. I thought it was a joke. So yeah, there's all these couples on this season because I believe Gabby and Kate are
Right.
dating too. So, but yeah, Katie to me when she goes completely off the rails, it's the best thing that happens every episode. Just her the random things that come out of her mouth and her facial expressions. I mean, I look forward to that. I would encourage her to do more of that.
Mm-hmm. I will say, being there during the commercial breaks, Luke and Lionel would very often go up to the audience and take an audience member's phone and then kind of do a selfie with the audience member. And Katie was more kind of sitting at her own seat, and then she would have people come over to her, and I think she was doing social media throughout the show. So she was more reserved, and the two male judges were more, open to meeting the audience. And then, since Katy and Katie's performance was not live, they did remove Katy Perry for a moment, and then she came back with the champagne, which was funny. How did that look on TV? I didn't actually watch it.
I don't remember. I might have been typing or something. At one point she said she was going to have champagne. But I don't actually remember her walking back with the champagne. But I don't know if that was.
It was when she threw her wig off into the crowd.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's the stuff that makes the show for me. She is the most entertaining judge. I think it would be boring without her.
Oh yeah, I think she's the best from this season, and I think Simon Cowell's the best overall. I want to see them together.
Yeah, and I liked towards the end of the season too, Katie started getting serious with some of the contestants, and she would tell them if it wasn't as good as, because for so long it was all praises, 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 even when you could tell it wasn't a great performance. So I like the judges that say, that wasn't great.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know why they're just always so positive. I remember in the auditions, Lionel was kind of strict and honest and constructive. And then as soon as he hit the live show, something changed. There was that moment, I think it was this week, when Caleb performed and Katie called him out and said that was the weakest performance I've ever seen. But then Lionel's like, "You're going to top the charts. You're going to be amazing." It's like, well, no, call him out if he gave a bad performance. I was happy Katie did that. I wish they would all kind of do that more.
And that was on his last day. That was Sunday night when she said that. So I thought the Sunday night show, their final performances, was not the best that I've seen. I think that could have been, I don't know if it was the song choices, but that didn't, to me, that wasn't a great final performance episode.
So you're saying it was not a moment like this?
It was not a moment like this. Yeah. No.
I did like how Maddie broke down at the end, and then all of the other top 10 kind of helped her sing. That was I just love seeing people so emotional that their emotions take over.
Yeah, there's been quite a few seasons like that. Like Kelly, I don't think could really finish her song. Fantasia, I think totally completely lost it. So yeah, those are always a little more fun to watch.
Well, any other thoughts about American Idol season 16?
I mean, have they confirmed that it's the same judges? Do they have that all nailed down?
Yeah, I think it's the same 3.
Okay. I think it can only improve. I think it was a good season. And I think that they can make it better. So I think it'll be better than this season. I liked this season overall. I thought it was entertaining for what it was.
I liked it too. I'm gonna mention a critique. I'm gonna judge American Idol. I think they should do more live shows and less of the Hollywood Week showcase rounds. And the reason I say that is because when they're eliminating 2 or 3 a week during the live shows, we as an audience don't really care as much. Whereas if it was just one person that gets eliminated, and then we see the judges react, and then we see a highlight reel of that person's time on the show, like how it used to be, I think the audience cares more, and we remember those people more.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was a production issue. Is it does it save money or is it more expensive? Because they used to always do it that way. I mean, they had more time to perform and they would go home one at a time. So I completely agree with you. They need more time on the stage and less time in the theater showing group routines.
Yeah. Maybe maybe that's something the judges should work on. They should not send as many people through to Hollywood, because the more people they send, the more people that we have to follow their stories, and we're not going to care about them. Only send through the good people, the people that can actually win.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they're confused sometimes, because I think sometimes those people they don't think can win can shock you. So
Denton is our winner of our contest at Gold Derby. I'm just going to mention the top 5. I'm going to name drop. Jason Nolette came in 2nd place. Congratulations. Tyler Tomanek came in 3rd place. Sid Salvo Jr., not senior, Jr. was 4th place. And Eric Playo came in 5th. Congratulations, everybody. Good luck for next season, season 17 in 2019.